Now let's go ahead and check in with student meteorologist Dominic Carrico from Embry-Riddle Aeronautical University for a glance at our national forecast.
As we head into the upcoming pre-Thanksgiving holiday weekend. Across the nation, though, we're going to keep it relatively tranquil the next few days. Not really talking about much, but the big story, of course, is that chill. Take a look at these temperatures as we wake up Saturday morning, talking about 30s and 40s across the nation, and the chilly air even settling in here to Central Florida. With more on that, here's UCF.
Thanks, Dominic.
Now, that water onshore from time to time. So we know if you do find yourself in a rip current at the beach this afternoon or into the summer, we want to wave, yell, and swim parallel. That is the saying. You want to grab people's attention and, of course, swim near those guarded lifeguard towers. Madison is a lifeguard. Do you guys know that? At Embry-Riddle, she's over at the pool.
Yeah, we did know that,
so
actually.
Maybe she can help us out.
Maybe some swim training there for the beach.
2022, which brought feet of rain to places like Daytona, where we're at today. We're at Daytona International Airport. You really couldn't even see the tarmac during the extent of that event because it was just covered in water. It almost looked like an ocean here locally, even though we are several miles from the beach. So we can't stress that enough.
At landfall. So really, if you're anywhere along the Florida Gulf Coast, you need to be watching this very closely because we can see those shifts and wobbles as we do with the model guidance and the advisory of models that is starting to kind of break away from the consensus. So any easterly shift here will have major implications down the road, entering very closely. And with the expansive wind field of this storm, no matter the exact track, we are going to see quite the gusty winds in the forecast as we head into Wednesday, and we'll stop the clock here Thursday evening. Notice how the winds just ramp up across the area in the metro, 59 miles an hour. Back further west along I-75, anywhere from 60 to potentially upwards of 70 mile an hour wind gusts blowing. Here's the latest official forecast coming from the National Hurricane Center. As you can see, there's just nothing optimistic about it. Category 3 Hurricane 125 sustained by Wednesday night, making landfall in the Bay Area with catastrophic impacts. And from there, the system maintains hurricane intensity through the entire width of the peninsula. I think we're going to see a sustained inland hurricane event for the first time since Charlie in 2004. A wind threat graphic here showing a swath of well over 100 mile per hour winds as you work from Spring Hill down through the Bay Area into Sarasota and then across the inland areas from the metro upwards to Deltona and Daytona Beach. We could be talking about wind gusts over 100 miles per hour. And Central Sarah, you can see it there on the visible satellite, starting to see what appears to be a low level center of circulation just to the south here of Jamaica. You can see not terribly impressive in terms of shower and thunderstorm activity, but the infrared presentation definitely grabs my attention. You can see some of those colder cloud tops still sheared away from what would be the center of circulation, but this does give us an indication that the storm is continuing to organize. It is in a favorable environment, and the trends are going to be on a little more of a concerning side. You have a high pressure system or something to that extent out to the north and to the west, so you get that northerly wind component. As the wind accelerates down slope due to the topography of this area, you get the air speeding up and drying out as the parcels continue to move towards the coastal areas. So places like Pacific Palisades, Malibu, they saw extensive, incredible damage. That all has to do with the wind drying out and accelerating as it moves downslope and through those mountain passes. Well, you probably heard by now the potential for snow in the panhandle of Florida. That is going to be a major story across the nation the next few days. Your weather headlines: snow and ice for the I-10 corridor through midday tomorrow morning remains a likelihood. A winter weather advisory is in effect here in Central Florida for Marion County until tomorrow, and we do even have a brief opportunity for some ice, frozen precipitation.
Right now, we take a look at the winter weather advisories across Central Florida, and behind me, I don't think I've ever seen this for our local area before. We're under a winter weather advisory from Marion County, and that goes until 10 o'clock tomorrow morning. Winter storm warnings are in effect for northern Florida. We take a look right now across the Embry-Riddle flight line. It's cold, it's gloomy out there. Temperatures in the mid-50s, but notice the wind out of the north. That's ushering in that cold Arctic air, and we're really going to begin to feel it, I think, by tomorrow morning. Temperatures out the door, it's 47 in Ocala, 50 in the villages. Along the Space and Treasure Coast, we're in the 50s, so just a touch milder, but that will change as we head into the overnight hours. Also, keeping an eye on a few light showers, a few sprinkles out there from Daytona Beach down through New Smyrna, as well as a few stray showers in the Melbourne area. We'll continue to watch that, but the moisture will continue to overspread the region through the overnight hours. Here's our storm system, the Gulf Low, bringing in that shower and thunderstorm activity to the south. But notice with the ushering in of that Arctic air and the air masses there meeting in the middle, you have widespread snow and sleet mixed precipitation there in places that normally do not see winter precipitation. Let's walk you through Central Florida's forecast through the overnight hours. This is around 6 o'clock this evening. Notice we got scattered showers in the vicinity of the metro areas, but nothing too widespread. Although I do want to turn your attention to, as we head into the overnight hours, we will continue to see the rain coverage increase from north to south, and we will continue to watch the chance for a brief wintry mix, maybe even a chance of freezing rain or ice. This is Wednesday morning. This is tomorrow morning. Notice into the northernmost portions of Marion County, there is that opportunity for some ice and freezing rain. So we'll have to continue to keep a very close eye on that. Freezing rain, essentially rain falling through a deep layer in the atmosphere of above freezing temperature profiles, but as the rain falls, it freezes on contact and everything becomes very, very icy, incredibly dangerous to travel tomorrow morning if you're in some of these areas that could be experiencing the ice. Let's take a look at the ice threat through tomorrow morning. You can see a pretty good swath here across northern Florida, even making it into places like Reddick and Ocala, so dangerous travel. Potentially up to 1/10 of an inch of ice in these areas, and we are certainly not accustomed to ice here in Central Florida. On top of that, there's going to be snow, and there's going to be a lot of it from Tallahassee through Jacksonville, potentially many inches of snowfall there. And Central Florida, we're not getting any snow, but we'll watch the ice potential very closely. 7-day forecasts, well, unfortunately, we're going to be cold, we're going to be damp, and we'll have that ice concern Wednesday morning, but after that, it looks like the temperatures do thaw out a bit with a lot of sunshine.